All right, y'all, live from New York. What's up, man?
How you doing?
What's going on?
Nothing much. We just got out of court today. One of the jurors is evidently sick. He's been experiencing issues with vertigo, and his partner called the courthouse and let them know, and so the judge adjourned the court for today.
What's your name, man?
My name is James Sanders. I am a journalist, and I'm providing daily coverage of the Sean Combs trial for Essence Magazine.
So, James, give them all your social media contact and everything so they can get with you.
You can find me on all social media platforms, including on my YouTube channel at James R. Sanders. That's all one word again. It's James R. Sanders.
Yeah, all those links gonna be underneath this video. Y'all make sure y'all go check out my man James. Now, James, are you on the 26th floor or the 24th floor?
I am always in the courthouse, 26A as in apple.
So you're in the court with Puff. You in the where it's going down at?
Can't stop, won't stop.
Now, James, where you from?
I am from West Philadelphia.
All right. Now, James, what was your feeling about Puff and his case 90 days ago versus what's your feeling about Puff and his case today?
My feeling has not changed. I think that Sean Combs is guilty of a few things. I think he's guilty of more than a few things. I think that the prosecution is going to have an uphill battle. I think they still have an uphill battle. I do not like that a black man was removed from the jury. However, my thoughts and views are personal. They are not Essence Magazine's thoughts and views. I cannot speak for the magazine. As a trained journalist and an award-winning journalist, we report on the news, so my thoughts and views are personal. However, coming from the perspective of a black man, my thoughts and views are that we have experienced a long history of jury discrimination, and I think that some of those things may be at play here, regardless of whether Sean Combs is guilty or innocent, and I do believe he may be guilty of more than a few crimes. Whether or not he's being charged with those crimes here is yet to be determined. Time will tell.
What is he guilty of, James?
I think that those things are yet to be determined, and we will see.
Now, James, Jane Doe on the stand. Talk to me.
I think that Jane Doe gave an interesting testimony. However, I think that the most compelling testimony came from Capricorn Clark, who appeared to be very convincing and also very sincere.
Why Capricorn Clark?
I think that her testimony was interesting because she was the only black assistant, even though she didn't stay an assistant, and she was able to eventually evolve into other positions under Combs Enterprises and then also Sean John. But I think that it's very interesting that Capricorn Clark started as an assistant and she was only making $65,000 a year, yet nobody within the media is talking about the fact that Sean Combs hired other assistants who were all white, and they were making between $85,000 and $100,000 a year. Why is that issue not being talked about?
Right.
Also, why is the issue not being talked about that all of these women who are witnesses who are victims seem to be racially ambiguous? I seem to find it funny that black women seem to be absent from this conversation. And writing for Essence Magazine, I think that we must always prioritize the issue and the fact that no one seems to find the fact that black women there seems to be an issue with finding the fact that black women can be victims as well.
Right.
And I think that with Capricorn Clark, people found it hard to believe her story and find
She told a couple lies. But James, she told a couple lies on the stand though, James.
I think that people thought she told a couple of lies because she was a black woman. And I think that people had more empathy for women who were not black. And I think that
James,
that's
come on, man.
problematic as well.
Come on, man.
And I think that black women are always looked at with a side eye. And I think that black women are harder to believe because they are black women.
James.
And I think that when we talk about believe women unapologetically, that grace is not always given to black women, and that is an issue. And I think that when we say believe women, we need to underscore black women because those are the women that are often not being believed. And the last thing I'll say about that is that we need to remind ourselves that Malcolm X said that the most disrespected individuals on the face of this planet are black women, and that still rings true today.
But James, hold up, man.
I'm holding up.
All right, but check this out, man.
I'm
Puffy,
checking
listen,
it out.
listen.
I am listening.
Puffy said, and a lot of the people said that he wanted people with a high work ethic and who wanted excellence, irrespective of their skin color, nationality, or whatever. So, you know, you brought
I
up.
find it strange
You
that
hold on a
Puffy
second. Hold on.
surround
Hold on. I gave
with
you the floor.
black
Hold up, James.
security,
Hold.
And yet, when it comes to the employees that he gives these chances to, they seem to be as white as mayonnaise. Why is that?
Oh,
So
James, come
when
on,
it
man.
comes to the security, you have no problem with surrounding yourself with black men. But when it comes to those who you've had on the stand, like former assistants, and then Christina Courtroom, who is a white woman and was your chief of staff.
But they helped him
What
build
color
it.
is
They
she?
helped him build $1 billion organization.
And
James,
now that
and business is
$1 billion
business.
organization
Business is
has
business,
been
no matter
cut in
what color
half
somebody is.
Because you've lost over half
All right, let me-
of that income having to pay for a legal team for the crimes that you've allegedly committed.
Let me ask you this. So you running a business, right, James? So you got two candidates. One is Asian, one is black, right? But the Asian one is clearly better and can help you move your organization forward. You're gonna go. Which one you gonna hire?
I'm going to always be about my people first because I must always look out for those
Even if
who I
they
know that I
underperform.
can trust.
Even if they underperform.
I think that the first issue is that we always look at those who we think we can trust based on a resume, not realizing that post-traumatic slave disorder is a serious issue. And we oftentimes ignore that when we look at things such as a resume, not understanding that the foundation of that comes from the plantation in which we were taught to put those who don't look like us above those that do.
James,
Which
you
is
done-
why that
James, you done
question
took this interview
was
a whole
posed
nother direction,
from the
man.
beginning. I think that the issue is that we think that interview was taken in a whole another direction when really it's the foundation of why we're even here
All right,
to begin with.
all right. Now, James,
Now,
check it out.
don't ask
All right.
if you don't want me to
All
tell.
right. Now, James, check it out.
I'm
What was
checking it out.
what was your position on Jane Doe?
My position on Jane Doe is simply, regardless of what abuse you've allegedly been through, if you are in a position to earn $10,000 a month and you don't have anything to show for it, you're a fool.
Ho, I'm not finished. The 17th floor balcony incident.
The 17th floor balcony incident that was allegedly on September the 26th, 2016, I was his alibi because on September the 26th, 2016, I was with him.
With who? With who, Jane?
With Sean Combs.
Where?
At the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, at the Bad Boy reunion concert. I saw him.
So there's
there.
no way he could have been in
Back-
L.A.
I was with him backstage at
Check them out, y'all.
the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey.
But listen,
I walked right past him with my best friend, Catherine Rockman,
but James,
also from West Philadelphia.
but James,
So I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I am saying that it didn't happen on September the 26th, 2016, because I was there.
James, let me ask you a question. Who has been dominating the courtroom, the federal prosecutors or Puffy's defense team?
I think that they've both been mediocre, with the exception of a few standout people such as Brian Steele and Nicole Westmoreland, who I believe that they are purposely keeping off of the stand for fear of shining. But what we've been seeing
James, man, what is you saying, man?
But what we've been seeing often
What is you saying, man?
That black women are kept out of the spotlight.
James. All right, so James,
Don't
listen.
ask, I repeat, if you don't want me to tell.
All right, cool. Yo, James, it's been a dope interview. All right,
It has, but what would make it even doper is if your fans and subscribers would follow me again on all platforms.
check them out, y'all.
At James R. Sanders.
Check them out, y'all.
And
What kind of
if you would
glasses is
visit
them,
my
man?
website
What kind of glasses is them?
at www.jamesrsanders.com.
All right, James, last question, then I'm going to cut you
And
loose.
the kind of glasses these are fashionable.
All right, last question. If James is on the jury, as of today, is Puffy guilty or innocent?
I think he is guilty of some crimes,
I didn't ask you
and
that.
I think that he is innocent of some.
Do you think he's guilty of RICO?
I think that time will tell.
All right, hey, James, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All the best.
You too.
Peace.